Let me tell you about a goat.
Nice.
This goat I need in my collection. I need him in my collection like yesterday.
Oh, kill him!
This goat has a very unique power that I need to keep in my arsenal.
Overdose of salt.
Without him, my arsenal is not complete.
Nice.
You have now seen me for the past 2 episodes. I know you, you know me. If you're not savage smashing that like button, you're gonna end up here, boy. And girl too.
It's facts! It's facts! It's not facts.
Whenever this goat gets scared, he powers up.
NANI?!
I have to be very careful with that.
What the heck?
Let me
What
in.
is that?
What's wrong with you? Get me in here. Get me in. You're not gonna escape me.
Get your butt in there. Where'd he go? Cool.
Boy!
Hey, goaty boy. You thought you was gonna get rid of me? Where is he? Do you think that you're gonna defeat me in my own home? Goat? Welcome to my world. The rules are still the same. React to the videos that's selected. If you don't get scared more than 3 times, you can return back to your world. But if you lose, you are stuck down here with me until all eternity. Forget going home after this.
You're never going to get away with this.
Let the games begin.
Thank you all so much. That was the most longest intro ever in life. Okay, I don't understand how many hours I spent doing that. Y'all could do your boy a favor. Savage smash that like button for me and enjoy the video.
For a little bit of context, this story took place when I was 19 years old. I am currently 28 and no longer live in the state where this occurrence took place. When I was 19, I worked at a gas station convenience store that was only a few minutes away from my house. I was enrolled in community college, so most of my shifts were evening or overnights. For the most part, the job was normal and boring. We didn't really get many customers during the later hours, and if we did, they usually pumped their gas, paid with a credit card, and were on their way.
Okay.
I decided to pick up some extra hours during our holiday break from school. I figured I could use the extra cash to get Christmas presents for my family. I was scheduled to work 3 overnight shifts in a row, which was a pain because I always found it difficult to fall asleep when I got home in the morning. The first night of my overnight stretch was going by pretty uneventfully. I was biding my time by restocking the shelves and facing the products that had gaps in them. I remember I was bringing out a big box of cosmic brownies to fill our display case when I heard the bell ring and someone enter the store. It was around 2 or 3 a.m., so I dropped what I was doing and headed behind the register to assist the person. I hadn't seen them yet, but yelled out good evening to see if I would get a response. I didn't hear anything, so I proceeded to move behind the register to see if the person needed assistance. When I got a glimpse of the person, it looked to be an elderly woman with dark black hair. Her face was covered in wrinkles, but it was hard to really make out anything else as she was bundled up pretty tight due to the cold weather. I saw her moving slowly throughout the aisles, not seemingly looking for anything, but just walking throughout the store. After several minutes of watching her do this, I decided to ask if there was anything I could assist her with. She didn't even bother to look at me or acknowledge that she heard me. She just continued to pace throughout the store. After another 5 minutes or so, she suddenly stopped and stared at the clock that was above the cooler. turned around and scampered out the door and disappeared into the night. To be honest, I didn't really think much of it. I assumed she was homeless and was possibly just trying to get some relief from the cold. We weren't technically supposed to let people loiter in or around the store, but this occurrence seemed pretty harmless to me. The next night, I was sitting behind the counter getting pretty drowsy, wishing the sun would come up so that I could go home and try to get some rest. I was watching a TV show on my iPad around, I think, 4 a.m. when I heard the bell ring. I'm pretty sure I jumped out of my chair as I was not paying attention and dozing in and out of sleep. Startled and trying to regain my composure, I looked at the door to see who had entered, and it was the same woman from the night before. She looked almost exactly the same.
She got
except
beat up.
Now there seemed to be several scrapes or scratches on her face. I greeted her and asked if there was anything I could help her with.
It's amazing
Again,
how
no
this is a
response, and
man's
she
voice on
began
a
the
woman's
process of
character.
walking up and down the aisles with her head down. I figured I was going to have to wait a minute or two and then let her know that if she wasn't planning on buying anything, then she would have to leave the store. Once a few minutes passed and I informed her, she stopped directly where she was standing, stared at me and said, "The only thing worth bargaining for is your soul."
Oh!
Her voice was high and shrill and not at all what I expected.
Pull her
I
hair, little
responded by
creep.
saying, "Excuse me?"
Exactly.
And she didn't say anything else. She just stared at me with a menacing, almost aggressive look. After about 30 seconds, she
that's why
exited
she
the
got
store
beat
and
up.
I watched her walk across the parking lot, hoping she wouldn't come back.
Yeah,
The
banner
final
from the
night of my
store.
consecutive overnights came all too quickly, and all I could think about was hoping that this crazy woman wouldn't show up again tonight. I never really had anxiety related to this job, so for the first time, I was uneasy about heading into work. I couldn't really focus on anything during my shift other than staring at the door and waiting for customers to enter.
True.
I didn't really leave the register even though I probably could have done some stalking throughout the store. The clock seemed to be moving so slow. It was only 3 a.m. and I felt like I had been there for 12 hours.
Okay.
Shortly after 3 a.m., I heard the bell ring, and there she was, the same woman from the
Dang,
two
that's you
previous
keep
nights.
getting beat up because you keep
She looked
talking
even more
crap.
disheveled, and the cuts on her face had increased and were also noticeable on her hands. Her hands almost seemed red, like they were smeared with blood. I looked over to her and yelled out,
Oh.
"Are you okay? Can I get you some help?" Meanwhile, really only concerned with my own safety. She looked up in my direction and mouthed the words, "Help me," and looked like she started to cry. I told her to hold on and went down to my purse to grab my cell phone to contact someone.
Don't ever do that.
I found my cell phone and was getting ready to dial 911,
Okay.
but then I heard the bell go and the door open, and when I looked up, she was gone. I didn't even see her scurry across the parking lot. It was that quick. I decided to call my boss, not knowing what else to do. I had clearly woke him up, but he seemed attentive when I explained what transpired during the previous 3 nights. He decided to come in and talk to me and check the property to see if we could locate her. When he arrived, he decided to go to the back and check the video recordings to see if he could get a visual
Oh,
or
she's not
description
on
of
there.
the person, in case we decided to contact the authorities that
She's
someone
not
had
on there.
entered our store, clearly in trouble and not in the right mental state.
Of course.
He came back up front about 10 minutes later and had a scowl on his face. "Hand me the phone. I'm calling the cops," he said in a very serious tone. "What?" I asked, startled, slightly worried that she might be back. "Come look at this," he said, leading me back to the surveillance room.
What up?
He proceeded to rewind the footage that was overlooking the back of the building, near the bathrooms. Upon playing it, I watched as the old woman walked onto screen, facing directly towards the store. Seemingly out of nowhere, her
Oh, she
slow
did that to
demeanor became
herself.
explosive as she began aggressively thrusting her shoulders into the bricks of the building, falling to her knees and intermittently scratching at her face and the store.
Dang.
She proceeded in this psychotic state for nearly 2 minutes straight before she wandered off screen towards
Oh,
the
that's
front of the
creepy.
store and entering towards me. The timing lined up directly with when I remembered seeing her. I was in mild shock, with my hand over my mouth as my boss informed me about experiences he's had with various junkies in the past, explaining that some of them seemed borderline possessed without rhyme or reason for their actions.
Dang.
We ended up reporting the incidents
Scary,
and showing
bro.
the footage to a few patrolmen, but there wasn't much they could do besides reassuring us that they'd keep an officer patrolling the area for the next couple evenings. The way that woman moved still baffles my mind, based on the difference when I saw her demeanor when she walked in. Looking back, her asking for help really made me wish there was something I could have done for her. But needless to say, I haven't worked night shift for quite some time.
Very good. Very, very good, Dark Ace Animations. Very good.
Muy bien.
Wow. Say something. Oh, she can't hear anything. She can't hear you. We're surrounded with a high pitch. Show her eyeball. I want to see it. Oh, she's deaf. Wow.
Can you hear me now? How did you get inside my house? I found you in my bathroom this morning. How did you get inside my house?
Jeez.
Mary? Is your name Mary? I need you to listen to me. I found your wallet and I just want to make sure. Is your name Mary? Are you hungry? Are you thirsty?
Yeah, I
Have you
am.
got any allergies I can make you something? It doesn't say on here. Do you have any allergies? Is there anyone that you want me to call? Your mum?
That's a
Anyone?
weird question.
No
Do you
one.
have any allergies? I mean, normally if somebody
Do you
breaks
remember
in
what
your
happened?
house, you don't do none of this stuff.
Last night? Do you remember what happened last night?
Oh. This looks great. She's got that cold sore in her
Mary.
mouth. Don't kiss her.
What happened last night?
Get away from them lips. Eee. I'm loving this though. Oh, I love it. I know this is gonna be good. Those eyes. Look at this. Who is it running? Chase him! Eat him! This is done so very well. Look at this. Oh, it's a her. It's Mary. Let her in, dude. She's being chased. Yes, smart woman. Smart woman. Man, look at all that. Hey! Why do you... Oh, shoot. Yes! Oh my God. Get away from the window! Lady, can you be any louder? Oh, he's right there in that door. He's in that doorway. He has to be. I know there's more knives than that. I will pull out a butcher knife, bro. There's no way. What's this? Bathtub. That's where she was when the girl found her. The owner of the home, I meant. Close the freaking... Oh, well, I guess... Yeah, it's probably not good to close the windows. He would see it. Hey! Oh my gosh, bro! Hello? Eat her face! Ah! He's right there. Oh! This is beautiful. Stab him. Look, don't stab nobody, guys. Use the knife. Oh yes. Really? I ain't scared. I just feel a jump scare coming though. I'm getting ready. Look at this dude's face. Bleach on his face. Not on her face. All right, listen. Nobody do this. Whoa. Stab him! Wow. Okay. Jeesh. There's no way, buddy. I'm fighting you. I'm not.
Okay, look, doctors will be here in a minute.
No way, bro.
They'll know the best way to handle this. I'm going now. I'm gonna leave the room, but I'll come back.
Oh, shoot. He's in there. Don't tell me. Oh, her eye look like dude's eye. This dude's crazy, bro. You did all that. You gotta just take them out. Don't do no more damage to yourself. Dang. What is the matter with you? Wow. That was very good. Very, very good. This one right here, the detail that they put into the face, that was horrifying. But definitely, great job. Thank you all very, very much.
Muy bien.
Top Trending's 15 creepiest places on Earth. Now keep in mind, these aren't ranked, so one is not creepier than the next. So we're gonna start off with the Kabayan. The Kabayan is a collection of man-made caves in the Philippines that are filled with mummies. These mummies are some of the best preserved on Earth, and these caves are basically just overflowing with them. There are so many caves in this system that it is very easy to get lost among thousands of mummies that look lively enough to leap right out of their pods. Next is the bird suicide grounds of Jatinga. The small village of Jatinga in northern India seems like any other quiet, isolated village in the world except for one thing. Every year around the months of September and October, hundreds of birds dive to their deaths within its city limits. To make things even stranger, the incidents only happen in the evening between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. across a roughly mile-long strip of land. The village has even taken steps to capitalize on this phenomenon by setting up birdwatching tours around the area.
Whoa!
Up next is the City Hall subway station. Resting deep beneath the busy streets of New York City lies a subway station. But not just any subway station. It's a station that no train has stopped at in almost 70 years, except for one public expedition on the station's 100-year anniversary. Next is the Sanxi Resort. Found in Taiwan, this place was originally constructed to be a luxury resort, but after a series of fatal accidents, it was shut down. Since then, it has been shrouded in secrecy, and not even the locals will dare to venture near the quote-unquote death pods. Takakanuma Greenland Park. After opening in the mid-70s, this theme park was abruptly closed down supposedly due to a number of deaths on its rides. Ironically enough, the park was once intended to be the happiest place on Earth. It is now being swallowed by the encroaching wilderness, and to make it even creepier, it is in close proximity to Fukushima, where a nuclear reactor melted and is always surrounded by a thick layer of fog.
Dang.
The city of Pripyat. A whole lot of you probably just got deja vu looking at the picture that's on screen, specifically some of you gamers and those of you that have ever played Call of Duty 4, as there is an entire level that takes place here. If you thought the idea of completely silent, abandoned radioactive city was just typical video game apocalyptic fantasy, you're completely wrong. Pripyat is located in northern Ukraine and once housed the workers and scientists of the Chernobyl nuclear plant. Founded in the 70s, it held as many as 50,000 people. Then in 1986, according to a footnote in the official Soviet records, there was a small malfunction in the Chernobyl reactor, so for safety reasons, the city was completely evacuated.
Dang.
Next is the Winchester Mystery House. In San Jose, there's this house on the corner of the street. It is a gigantic, sprawling 160-room complex designed like a maze with mile-long hallways, secret passages, dead ends, doors opening to blank walls, and staircases leading to ceilings. This house, all work of Sarah Winchester, heiress to the Winchester rifle fortune. In the late
Oh, yeah, I
19th
remember
century,
now.
deeply saddened over the death of her
was a
husband and
movie.
daughter, she visited a Boston medium who told her that she was haunted by the spirits of every single victim
Yeah,
of the
that
Winchester
those-
rifles.
yeah,
She
that's
needed to
right.
make
That's
peace with
actually a
them
movie.
by always building a house, as in never stop
Yep.
building onto her house,
Yep.
or else she would die.
Yeah.
The purpose of the maze-like hallways were to confuse the ghosts that weren't welcome and to cater to the ones that she needed to keep happy. With a daily allowance of $1,000, price was definitely not a problem. She paid 23 carpenters to work 24 hours a day for 48 years straight to get the entire house done.
Yeah.
The
I remember
Overton
that.
Bridge. Located near Scotland's charming little village of Milton in the peaceful burgh of Dumbarton, the Overton Bridge is a local arch construction where no human beings have ever died in any suspicious circumstances whatsoever over the last few decades. Now that might sound like a weird phrase, however, during that span, for reasons we can't begin to possibly understand, hundreds and hundreds of dogs have killed themselves there. It appears that dogs have been plunging off the Overton since the early 60s at a rate of 1 animal per month, bringing the total number today around 600 mutts, who for some reason decided to end it all.
But without further ado, guys, thank you all so much for part 3 of Horror Hour. Peace, guys.